howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump losing in court over the funding freeze. Two different judges have now blocked his policy. This, of course, is about Trump's directive that came through the Office of Management and Budget that directed agencies to, quote, pause all activities related to obligation or disbursement of all federal financial assistance and other relevant agency activities that may be implicated by the executive orders. People with a basic understanding of the Constitution immediately see the issue. Congress controls the purse, not the president. On Tuesday, a U.S. district judge paused the freeze to allow for full arguments at a later date. But on Friday, U.S. District Judge John J. McConnell slapped the freeze down a bit more bluntly. The judge said the states seeking to block the funding freeze, quote, are likely to succeed on the merits of some, if not all, their claims. Going on to say, quote, federal law specifies how the executive should act if it believes that appropriations are inconsistent with the president's priorities. It must ask Congress, not act unilaterally. Are there some aspects of the pause that might be legal and appropriate constitutionally for the executive to take? The court imagines there are, but is equally sure that there are many instances in the executive order's wide-ranging, all-encompassing, and ambiguous pause of critical funding that are not. The judge granted an indefinite temporary restraining order, TRO, prohibiting the executive branch from moving forward with the funding freeze. It will stay in effect until he rules on a preliminary injunction. The judge explained that measure by saying, quote, the court must act in these early stages of the litigation under the worst-case scenario, because the breadth and ambiguity of the executive's action makes it impossible to do otherwise. Trump's team argued the case was moot because the memo had been rescinded. However, the judge pointed to the social media post of the White House press secretary that stated the funding freeze was still in effect and just the memo had been rescinded. The judge said, quote, based on the press secretary's unequivocal statement and the continued actions of executive agencies, the court finds that the policies in the OMB directive that the states challenge here are still in full force and effect, and thus the issues presented in the state's TRO motion are not moot. One of the most important lines from the judge that foreshadows how he will eventually rule is this quote, the executive cites no legal authority allowing it to do so. Indeed, no federal law would authorize the executive's unilateral action here. It seems pretty clear the judge understands which branch of government controls funding. That's kind of all you need to know to see where this case is headed. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.